Good afternoon, guys. It's only me. I'm back again. Hair tutorial number 3. And today I'm going to be going through how to put some nice beach waves in your hair using a straightening iron. I know lots of you probably already know how to do it, but there are some that don't. So I thought it would be really good to go through it. A nice, quick, easy way. And also I'm going to be going through what angle to put the straightening iron in as to what result you'll get. So today I've shampooed and conditioned my hair. I've just rough dried most of it off and smoothed it a little bit just because obviously my hair is very naturally curly now. And I just blow dried my fringe. And before I blow dried, whilst my hair was still damp, I put in Olaplex number 6 as like a little leave-in treatment. This just helps to sort of smooth my hair, but also it's a nice treatment because I used to be blonde, so I have a lot of bleach underlying in the ends of my hair, so it needs that extra moisture. Okay, so I'm literally just gonna take my hair down for you. It's a little bit wild today. And I'll just flatten it down a little bit. Now, before I start putting the waves in, I just want to go through, the straightening iron that I use is a Cloud9 standard size straightening iron. The reason I like this one is because it has a temperature gauge in it that you can choose what temperature you have the straightening irons. Now, I don't like to have them on the highest heat, and the reason being is because number one, my hair is really dry, but even on guests' hair I don't really have it really hot. Purely because if you have the temperature a little bit lower, when you start putting the wave in, you can go a little bit slower and it gives you much more control instead of having them really hot and then you have to put the wave in really quick just so that it doesn't go too curly or too tight. Especially if you're sort of doing it for the first time as well. It just helps you to get a bit more control. And you can take a bit more time doing it as well. So I'm just going to show you through the top what sort of results you get as to what angle you put it in. So if you put the straightening iron in quite straight, you'll get a really tight curl. Some people like that. I personally don't. In my hair, I like more of a looser wave. So this is the result you get when you put the straighteners in. You turn the straightener 180 degrees. And you get a really nice, bouncy, tight curl. And you obviously lose a lot of length doing it that way. So did you see I put the straightener in really straight, turned it around 180 degrees, and I just pulled it all the way down the hair. So let's just show you again, but I'm actually going to do more of a wave this time, and then you can see how they sit next to each other. Okay, it's a bit too big, that section. So instead of going in straight this time, I'm going to go a bit more slanted. So in, round, 180 degrees, and down. And you can see that's more of a really soft wave. Obviously I haven't got too much length through the top, so you'll be able to see that result more when I do the rest of it. But yeah, you don't lose too much length and it's a lot softer. I much prefer that look to the curl on my hair, but some people do like it quite curly. So I'm going to let that cool down. Oh, and another tip as well, when you start trying this on your own hair, if you get a bit that's gone really too curly or it hasn't gone right and you want to sort of go over it, don't go over it straight away. Just try and let it cool down first, because if you try and go over it whilst it's hot, it's not going to do anything. It won't curl. It'll probably just go straight. So let that cool down. That's why I've sort of shown you through the top the looks that you can sort of get with each angle, because I'll let that cool down and I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so first section, And as I say in all my videos, I don't expect you guys to get this straight away. It's really awkward on your own hair. Like, I actually really struggle with mine. So I'm hoping I do it really nicely today. Okay. So I'm probably taking sections that are probably like just as wide as the straightening iron, because I know it's not too much hair to handle. And I'm just sort of doing it, I'm bringing it round to the front mostly, just so I can see what I'm doing. But I haven't really got a lot of length to my hair, so sometimes I do just have to sort of do it by feel as well. And also, before I start, you always have one side that you do much nicer than the other one. I think this side is probably my nicer side, so I might actually start with this side, just to sort of get it out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start putting the straightener in, turning it halfway round. Okay, next section, putting in the straightener, turning it halfway round, and I sort of keep a hold of the end of the hair as well, just to make sure that you're actually getting the end of the hair through the straightening iron, because sometimes you might lose it and might lose where you're going with it. Okay, so straighten it in, turn it round, and have you noticed I'm not actually really curling the bottom, because I actually like the ends quite straight. I don't like the ends to be too curly. In, turn it round. Got a nice little wave there. You can see a straight bit. So I'm going to show you one more section whilst the video is going at a normal pace. Turn it in, round 180 degrees. I'm just pulling it down. See if I've got any straight bits on this side. Yes. See, as you can see, I'm finding it quite fiddly and tricky as well. So in, round, down. Okay. Next section. Again, not taking too much hair down, because I don't want too much hair to manage. Okay, next section. So you can see the section size is no wider than the straightening iron. Going to put the straightener in nice and slanted, not straight, because remember, if you do it quite straight then you'll get more of a curl, and obviously be careful of your ears when you're going up. So in, turn it around, bring it down the hair, nice and slowly. And I like my curls to sort of come off of my face as well. So if you've probably noticed, with each section, with each side, I'm sort of putting the straighteners in and turning it out from my face. And then I sort of change my hand position and putting the straightener in and turning it round. I think that's why I find this side a little bit more tricky, because it's not my natural side. Okay, so I'll just show you with this side. So straighten it in, turn it round, keeping a hold of the ends just so you don't lose your way. in, turn around. You can see I'm going quite slowly, but because I've turned that temperature down, I've got quite a lot of control over it. And again, remember I'm doing this by feel through the back because I haven't got that length to bring it round to the front so I can see. In at the root, round, keeping a hand of that end of the hair as you're coming down. Can't feel any straight bits. See? You've got a really nice, beautiful wave, and once we brush all that out and finish it at the ends, it's gonna look amazing.
Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love you won't ever be alone. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool, been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet. With you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day. For you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. My love is forever yours. Forever yours. My love is forever yours.
Okay, so I finished putting all my waves in, and then I am just going to use like a clear serum. I've had this one for a really long time. It lasts forever. It's a nice Aveda Light Element serum, and I just use this. You can use this in your hair wet or dry, actually. I really love this product because it's quite light, but it's just really good for sort of breaking up your waves. So as you can see, I've just put the tiniest amount. Not even a quarter of a pump, just a tiny bit, because I don't like my hair to be too heavy. Just gonna rub it in my hands. You can see there's really not a lot on there, and I'm just gonna use that just to sort of put my hands through it, break it all up. I mean, my hair holds a curl really well anyway, or a wave really well, so I can be quite rough with it and just sort of really break it up. I mean, some people just like to sort of leave it and not touch it for a few hours and then brush it out, just so that it lasts a really long time, because their hair might be really naturally quite straight and it doesn't hold much of a wave, whereas mine lasts literally until I wash it, so I'm quite lucky. So therefore I can dress it out straight away. And there we are. Some really nice, soft waves. I know I haven't got a lot of length to play with, but I hoped that few little tips and tricks really helped you to sort of get the angle right as well. And sometimes you might even want to sort of practice it on someone else before you do it on yourself, just so you don't burn yourself or burn your hair or whatever. But that's why I really like this tool, the straightening irons that have the temperature gauge on them, because like I said, you can turn them right down and it gives you a little bit more time to like get the angle right, just so you're not singeing your hair too much. You have to be really careful of that. I've actually done it to my hair a few times, so. But yeah, and I'd always say maybe use a little bit of heat protection in there as well, like maybe a little spray if you haven't got something like the Olaplex leave-in lotion. Just because you do want to sort of protect your hair before you put that really extreme heat on, especially if you're sort of trying this trick out for the first time. But thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps somebody. See you next week.